सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Naishkarmya Siddhi, page 61, second chapter, 40th verse. Drashtapi yadi drishyāyāh ātmeyāt karmatāṃ dhiyah yogapadyamadrishyatvam vaiyarthyam chapnuyāt śrutihi. Sureshwaracharya, dealing with the topic of Tvampada Vichara, analysis on the individual nature, that is Tvampada, which occurs in the Mahavakya Tattvamasi, which Mahavakya occurs in Chandogyopanishad, which Chandogyopanishad comes in Samaveda. So we are studying Samavediya Upanishad, Chandogyopanishad, Sambandhita Tattvamasi Mahavakyasya Tvampada Vicharasya analysis is going on now. In this Tvampada Vichara, whenever Shastra says Tvam means you, Shastra says that is in Madhyama Purusha Ekavachanam, Tvam. When I turn it to myself, Aham Asmi. Prathama Purusha Ekavachanam, Uttama Purusha Ekavachanam. Aham Asmi, I say. When Aham I say, I am a mixture. I am a mixture of OC, RC, RM. Or you can put in other words, I am a mixture of Atma, Anatma, Samyoga. Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Vibhagaha. So, Atma, I, the consciousness, I am available in this Anatma body-mind complex. So, whenever Guru says, Mahavakya says you, it is focusing upon you or pointing out you, that you is a mixture. Atma Anatma mixture. OC RC mixture. In this RC to form, RM is required. Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram and Karana Shariram. In the Sharira Trayam only this Chidabhasa happens, especially in Sukshma Shariram. Sukshma Shariram can function only when there is Sthula Shariram. Sukshma Shariram can exist only when there is Karana Shariram. So, causal body, Anatma number 1, subtle body, Anatma number 2, gross body, Sthula Shariram, Anatma number 3. So, these three Anatmas put together, we are negating as Anatma. From that, Sureshwaracharya, after negating the Sthula Shariram, it is only Mamsa, Rakta, Asti, Samyoga. After negating that you are not Sthula Shariram, you are not even Sukshma Shariram also. In that Sukshma Shariram also, particularly Sureshwaracharya is focusing on what? Is focusing on Ahankara. Ahankara, the ego, Aham. Whenever I say, it is a mixture. So the lower I, Ahankara, is not my true nature. Lower I, ahankara, vyavaharika I. That I which does vyavahara. I am doing vyavahara with lower I. Higher I can never do vyavahara. Higher I, the OC I am, can never do vyavahara, interaction, talking, hearing, going, walking, talking, anything, any action cannot be done by the OC, higher I, Paramarthika I, Lakshyartha I. Then who is doing Vyavahara? Blessed by OC, the Atma Chaitanyam, I bless the body-mind complex to do Vyavahara. In that Vyavahara, what are all involved? Anatma is involved. Anatma can do Vyavahara because of my blessing. I lend existence, I lend consciousness to the body-mind complex. Blessed by me, this body-mind complex, when it is functioning, I have forgotten that I have given the blessing to this body-mind complex. I have forgotten. Having given that blessing in the form of Sat and Chit to the inert body, mind complex, I have forgotten. Because of that forgetfulness, that is our birthright. Forgetfulness is our birthright. So I, the Atma, am, because of not knowing my higher nature, I am taking myself as the body-mind complex. Because of that mistake, there is a necessity to listen to Naishkarmya Siddhi. I have to sit in front of iPad or phone or computer to listen the class. For what purpose? To regain my true nature, that what I have forgotten, my real nature, now I have to recollect. I have to recognize. I have to discover. How can I discover? How can I recollect? How can I recognize? Only through Shastra, Guru, Upadesha Dvara. Guru Upadesha. That Guru is who is handling the Shastra Mahavakya. That is Naishkarmya Siddhi, second chapter, Sureshwaracharya's text. We are seeing for what purpose I am sitting all the way here, 6 to 7. What purpose? Just to get Pratyabhijna. Oh, that I am this Mahavakya. When it says, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am only Sat Chit Ananda Swarupaha Ahamasmi. So, Guru Shastra Upadesha reminds us, reminding, know your real nature. You are not Ahankara. Don't take your Vyavaharika, fatherhood, motherhood, brotherhood, sisterhood, any hood is only belong to Ahankara, which is blessed by me. Ahankara by itself, the Jiva, Chidabhasa, is which is available in the mind. Mind is mithya. In that which is formed, Chidabhasa is also reflected consciousness, because of which interaction is going on. Weeks, months, years, decades I am doing, but some punya brought me to Naishkarmya Siddhi to know the true nature of myself. How can I know? I am not Ahankara. Purvapakshi is telling Ahankara is an attribute of Atma. Atma is a seer. Ahankara is the seen. We are telling. Purvapakshi also agrees that Atma is Drashta. In that there is no any contradiction. Purvapakshi also accept Atma is Drashta, seer. We also accept Vedantins, Advaitins, Atma is Drashta. Where is the problem now? What for we are discussing this? There are some people, Purvapakshis, opponents, who are having a contradictory ideas. What are those ideas? Why can't this ahankara, the RC, the Chidabhasa, Sahita, Antahkaranam, Manaha, also can be the attribute of Atma? Why can't we take that Atma is Atma and Ahankara together? Let it be there. So that what ignorance people are all having, that only no. So Ahankara, they are taking themselves as Ahankara. For that sake, teacher has to teach many years. You are not Ahankara, you are using the Ahankara. You are experiencing the Ahankara. For that we apply a law. Whatever is experienced is different from the experiencer. How can I say I am not Ahankara? How do I arrive at that conclusion? Shastra gives yukti. A law is there. Whatever is experienced by the experiencer is different from the experiencer. You are experiencing the bag, house, fan, anything what you are experiencing. You are not that. You are not that. That is very clear for all of us. We are handling so many things. We are observing so many things. We are experiencing so many things. We never claim that I am that keychain. You are handling the keychain. Can you become keychain? No. You are making use of 100 umpteen things in throughout your routine. You never become one with them. That we know very easily because they are little, distance is there. Therefore, I am not the bag, I am not the house, I am not the fan, I am not the book. Easily we can say because there is a distance. But when you come to body-mind complex also, the same law you have to apply, Shastra says. Same law you have to apply. What is that same law? You are experiencing your body. You are kshetrajnaha. Body is kshetram. In Bhagavad Gita also we completed that chapter kshetrajna vibhaga yoga. Since the body is very close, proximate, there is a little difficulty in accepting that body is also an object of experience. There is a difficulty because of its proximity, closeness. Just like if you wear specs, many people forget what you are all seeing. He says everything I am seeing, but he is seeing his spectacles also. He never say I am seeing my spectacles. He included the spectacles in his own body-mind complex. He never enumerated that spectacles are also objectified by me. Why? Because the spectacles are very close to the body. He has forgotten. The one who wears the spectacles, he never thinks that he is looking through the spectacles. He don't remember all the time. He never remembered that he is using the spectacles. Through spectacles he is seeing. Why? They are very close. They become part of the body. Like that here also, body becomes the part of myself so closely. Therefore, there is a little difficulty in accepting the body. That is why he has given lot of doshas of that body, limitations of that body, nature of that body, physical body. Now further he travels inwards, that mind also is like that, my dear. Sureshwaracharya says, oh my God, world is object, okay, I have accepted it, it is not me. Then body also somehow I managed after listening to 13th chapter, Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga, I have managed to understand Kshetram, I am not. Then Sureshwaracharya says, mind is also an Atma only, it is also an object of experience only. So this is the most subtlest, difficult task for every seeker to distance the ahankara. Ahankara, which is available in the mind is the medium, antahkaranam. In that antahkaranam, the chidabhasa is formed. That chidabhasa alone is vyavaharika I, lower I, inferior I. But all ignorant people have taken that ahankara, lower I or inferior I, as themselves. So what? Let them take as theirs themselves that ahankara, but that taking ahankara as yourself is not a big thing you have taken. But ahankara problems, ahankara identify with the body, body mind problems also you take as your problems. Then your samsara picture movie starts. That movie comes only 3 hours. But its movie comes from janmas, either one body or other body. Let us take in this janma how many decades? Not 1 day or 2 days movie or 5 days or 350 episodes. But our episode is a non-ending episode. In this janma itself, many decades, many episodes. Long serial this is. This is a long movie. In this also there is a comedy, there is a tragedy, there is a lot of pleasure, pain, etc., etc. Shastra says, take this is also a drama. How can I take it as a drama? If you don't take it as a drama, if you take it as real, you have to forget about peace, happiness and security. That's all. If you are not able to distance the body-mind complex, especially mind, ahankara, if you are not able to do that, what is that you have to do? You have to undergo that pain and pleasures fluctuation. This will happen. Are you ready for that? No, Swamini, I cannot bear, I cannot withstand. Then you cannot bear that, you cannot withstand that pain. Whatever comes out of vyadhi, jara and old age and disease or any other problems you are not able to withstand, then Shastra says, okay, then come to Vedanta class, Naishkarmya Siddhi class, listen and claim your higher nature. That's all. So Purva Pakshi is very, very adamant. Purva Pakshi means an ignorant person. Okay, he's very adamant. He want to say, no. Ahankara also, let it be part of Ahankara, Atma. That time, Sureshwaracharya says, all these doshas will come. Look into the shloka now. With this background, we have to move forward. Very, very terse portion. I am very happy many of you are attending this Naishkarmya Siddhi. Really, it is some fortune to have so many students to attend this class and such a terse subject. We are all listening means I surprise really. I congratulate all of you. Let us go ahead. Okay, look into the first line. Drashta api atma, the seer atma, yadi, if, suppose, dhiyaha drishyayaha karmatam iyad. Dhiyaha drishyayaha means what? Drishyayaha means objecthood. Objecthood of the intellect. If the seer, drashta api, atma, the seer, also will become, iyat means will become, suppose, if he becomes an object of experience to that mind, to the intellect, which intellect is already drishyam. Which intellect is already drishyam. So, drashta api, if the seer were to be objectified. Karmatam iyad, objectified. Karma means here objectification. Karmatam iyad. If it is objectified by whom? Dhiyaha, by the intellect. Drishyayaha, which intellect itself is the seen. Drishya means what? Seen. Which intellect is already, it is an object of experience. You are experiencing your intellect or not? So intellect, sharp intellect, very brilliant intellect, my intellect is so dull. Are you experiencing or not? That's why Sureshwaracharya reminds that which intellect is already, it is only object of experience, itself is the seen. Seen from whose standpoint? From the standpoint of Drashta. I, the seer. For me, the intellect is an objectified entity. Therefore, in relation to the seer, me, the Drashta, which is already Drishyam, what are all problems will come? 3 problems are possible. Hypothetically, suppose, Abhyupetya Vada, we are accepting, suppose, you take Atma also as Drishyam. What are all problems will come? Drashta, Atma will become Drishyam. To Drishyam, it has to become means for whom? To the intellect, it has to become Drishyam. Second line, he gives 3 problems. Yoga Padyam, 1 problem. Adrishyatvam, 2nd problem. Shrutihi Vaiyarthyam, 3rd problem. 3 problems will occur. 3 problems will occur. What do you mean by Yoga Padyam? Yugapat. Yugapat alone is called Yoga Padyam. It's abstract noun. Yugapat abstract noun is Yoga Padyam. That means simultaneity. Simultaneous. At a time. At a time is called Yugapat. Yoga Padyam. Simultaneity is 1 problem. Adrishyatvam means unexperienceability. How you have to split there? Yoga Padyam Adrishyatvam. Yoga Padyam plus Adrishyatvam. Adrishyatvam means, Drishyatvam means experienceability. Adrishyatvam means unexperienceability is the 2nd problem. I will explain. I will try to explain. Okay. Then 3rd, Shruti Vaiyarthyam. Invalidity of Vedic Upanishadic statements. Invalidity of or non-validity of Upanishadic statements. These are the 3 problems. Now let us see the first one. Yoga Padyam means what? Yoga Padyam means 2 opposite attributes, 2 opposite statuses we can take. Aham, Atma, Sakshi status and Ahankara status. 2 statuses are there. So the 2 statuses, subject status, object status, observer status, observed status. These 2 statuses, both are opposite statuses. So 2 opposite statuses locating in the same Atma simultaneously. Because Atma is already Drashta, the subject. Suppose you say Atma is also Drishyam for some time. Let us change our duty for some time. Like that, suppose you say at the same time, then what will happen? The subject object opposite attributes first of all cannot coexist. Drashta is a Drashta because of Drishyam. Drashtahood is given by the Drishyam. That means subjecthood is always from the standpoint of object. Object is that which bless the subject to maintain the subjecthood. Objecthood also is blessed by the subject only to retain that objecthood. Object cannot be an object without subject. Subject cannot be a subject without object. They both are relative. Relative. Each one is depending upon the other. That is why both are opposite, same attributes. That means subject opposite attributes cannot coexist. Attributes in the sense status. Subject status and object status cannot locate, cannot coexist in one and the same entity. One and the same entity. That is the law. How can you say like that? You cannot say water is cold also, water is hot also. You cannot say at a time. At a time you cannot say simultaneously. Water is hot also, water is cold also. It is not possible because coolness and hotness both are opposite. They cannot coexist. Similarly, here drashta and drishyam also both are quite opposite. So subject and objecthood and objecthood in one and the same Atma simultaneously. This is the Purvapakshi's contention. This is not possible. Simple logic only. Just like your eyes can always be the perceivers, observers. Eyes are always perceivers. They perceived colors, they perceived forms. Eyes cannot be perceived by eyes. Eyes always perceive. The perceived objects are different from the eyes. Eyes can never be perceived. Like that here also, eyes can never become an object of perception. They are always perceivers, but not perceived. So perceiverhood and perceivedhood both are different. Diagonally opposite. They cannot coexist. This is the Yogapadyam problem. It is not possible. Ruled out. Then second problem, Adrishyatvam. Adrishyatvam means here there will be no object at all. There will be no object at all. When suppose he says simultaneously is not possible, let us take sequentially. Sequentially. Suppose Purvapakshi argues, water is not cold and hot at a time, but water is cold now, and I will put that water on the stove in a vessel, then it become hot after some time. Sequentially, first it is cold, then it become hot. Later, sequentially, first hot, cold, then hot. Then what? Then again after some time you keep that water and again it will become cold. It's possible. One water can be cold also, hot also, again cold also. Possible. Sequentially possible. Why can't we say like that? Like that here also, Atma, Drashta, sometimes it becomes Drishyam, and Ahankara, the Drishyam can become Drashta sometime. Sequentially, not at a time. Let us take like that, suppose sequentially and at a different time. Suppose if he takes like that, suppose you say, we are asking the Purvapakshi, like water, cold water, hot water, then cold water. Like that if he says, what is the problem? The problem is Adrishyatvam. Atma, first of all, Atma, according to Purvapakshi, Atma is not self-evident. Atma is not self-illuminator. That is why he is having problem. So, what Acharya says, Adrishyatvam. That means if sequentially they become as both are seers, then what will happen? There will not be any object for seeing. There will be no object for seeing. Suppose drishyam, ahankara become drashta, and both are becoming seers. Drashta already seer, this ahankara also became seer. Then who will be there to see? There is no seeing object to see at all. So adrishyatvam, absence of object problem will come. Then drashta is not a drashta at all without object. That is what is this adrishyatvam. That is not possible. In the dr, all are giving long distance. They are put closer. Now printing, you have to correct yourself that words. Okay, seeing the self and the seen intellect simultaneously also, yogapadyam also problem, and sequentially also. If you say atma drashta, ahankara is also drashta for time being, some time, then again ahankara become drishyam later. Suppose ahankara become drashta, who will be the drishyam? There is no drishyam at all. So drishyam is required, object is required separately. This is adrishyatva. Not only that, the very existence of Atma will be unproved. The very existence of Atma will be unproved or untrue. It cannot be established. There will be no object of seeing. It cannot be proved. Okay, it's just like ears. If there is no sound at all, you will have a doubt whether ears are functioning or not. There must be some sound outside, then only your ears are functioning or not, you can know. Okay, if object is not there outside at all, then Atma, how it can be proved by itself? It become unproved without an object, because Suddha Atma cannot be known or cannot be discovered, recognized or anything. Suddha Atma is Shuddham. So then what is the third problem? Third problem is Atma become, if Drishyam existence must be proved by somebody else. If Atma becomes Drishyam, that Drishyam existence has to be proved by someone else. Suppose Purvapakshi says someone else, means mind can be the prover of that Drishyam. Mind can be the prover of Drishyam. So Atma becomes the, see, mind, ahankara becomes drashta, there will be no object. If Atma becomes the Drishyam, both of them are Drishyam, then mind has to see the Atma. That is, somebody should see the Atma when Atma becomes Drishyam. Somebody must be there, seer must be there. Who is the seer? Suppose you say mind is the seer. Let us have a change. Mind can be the seer. To see the Atma as a Drishyam, you have to say that only, where there is no other way. Mind is the seer, Atma is the seen. My dear, what is Upanishad is telling? Nahi drishte drashtuhu. Nahi drashtuhu drishtehe viparilopo vidyate avinashitvat. That is the Shruti Vakyam. So Shruti Vayarthyam means what Acharya keeping in his mind here. Drashtu in the Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka, Swayam Jyoti Brahmanam, 4.3.23, 4th chapter, 3rd Brahmanam, 23rd mantra. Nahi drashtuh drishtehe viparilopo vidyate abhinashitvat. What it means? The mantra, the meaning is the consciousness of the Sakshi. Drashtuh drishtehe, the consciousness of the Sakshi will never lost, will never lost consciousness. Viparilopaha na vidyate, will never lost the consciousness. So the consciousness is ever there in the Sakshi. Consciousness is ever associated with the Sakshi. Therefore, consciousness is ever self-evident. Consciousness is ever self-evident. It cannot have any absence. Viparilopaha means absence. It cannot come into drishyam status and all. It won't happen. That is the mantra. That mantra will become redundant. Vaiyarthyam syat apnuyat. That vakyam will become meaningless, purposeless, redundant. Redundant means useless. So that you are insulting the shastric words that will occur. So Shruti says Atma is self-evident because of consciousness. Consciousness is ever self-evident. So this is because it is its nature. Consciousness is the nature of Atma. Consciousness is the nature of Atma. Therefore, you can never make Atma as an object. It is ever drashta, ever the seer, never the seen. You can remember this much. Atma is ever the seer, never the seen. That is the mantra's bottom line of Swayam Jyoti Brahmanam. Now, we will go to the next shloka. Very, very important verses. These are all very highly technical and deep for serious mumukshus to contemplate. Very easily he is presenting for us to assimilate, to understand my higher nature, how Sureshwaracharya beautifully presenting. So, Yoga Padya dosham and Adrishyatva dosham and Shastra Vaiyarcha dosham. These three problems comes if you accept Ahankara is also a part of Atma. Various points he is presenting from few classes we are seeing continuously. This is one angle he is presenting in one way of presentation. 41st verse, introduction, and sloka also I will read. Kutaha yasmad nalupta drishter drishyatvam drishyatvam drashtruta kutaha syāschedrigekam nirdrishyam jagadvasyada sakshikam. Another brilliant presentation. Now he is further explaining that yoga padyam dosha. Kutaha, why Atma is self-evident, we are telling Kutaha. Why Upanishad is telling Atma is self-evident, we are emphasizing that. I will tell you. Yasmat. What is the reason for that? I will tell you. Sureshwaracharya says. What is that? Again, he brings that idea. Atma alupta drishte drishyatvam nasyat. One sentence. Alupta drishte. That means in the previous mantra what he said, drishte nahi drashtuh drishte viparilopo vidyate. That viparilopa word Acharya used as here lupta, avilupta, alupta. There in the mantra viparilopa, na viparilopa. That word he presents it as na alupta. Lupta means becoming, disappearing. Lupta means what? Becoming absent, becoming disappearing, going away, not available. That is called luptam. Aviluptaha means that which doesn't have any absence at any time. That means nityam, nitya chaitanyam ityartha. Aviluptaha drishtihe means nitya chaitanyam ityartha. Aluptam is equal to nityam. Nityam. Here, that nitya chaitanyam alupta drishtihe, of that nitya chaitanyam, eternal consciousness, na drishyatvam, it can never have an status of objecthood or objectifiable by anyone. It cannot be objectified. Adrishyatvam syad, it can never be have any object status. Atma can never stand in the status of object. That is the idea. First sentence, full stop. Then second sentence, suppose Atma becomes drishyam, for Purpakshi's sake, argument's sake, hypothetical. Suppose, as you say, Atma is drishyam, then kutaha drashtruta, who is the seer? Atma has become drishyam. Drishyatvam, drashtruta kutaha drishyatve sati. If Atma is an object having object status, drishyatve sati, it is a seen object. Suppose drashtruta kutaha, if Atma is drishyam, it cannot be sakshi Atma with permanent consciousness. It cannot be sakshi, it cannot be drashta. If it becomes drishyam, who will be there to see the drishyam? The drishya Atma itself, who will be there to see that drishya Atma? The Atma itself coming and sitting in the chair of object, drishya status, and the drashta is not there to see this drishyam. Ella funny. Thinking people, only all this, they look into that. Non-thinking people, shallow thinking, just like that they talk. Before talking, they have to think. Okay. Drashtruta kutaha. If Atma is drishyam, it cannot be the sakshi Atma with a permanent consciousness. Who will see this drishya Atma, suppose it becomes drishyam? And second, next line, drigekam nirdrishyam syat chet. Here two readings are there. Drik shabda, drigekam is there in the shloka. Second line, drigekam, drik plus ekam, drigekam. Here drik shakarantaha, drishya shabdaha. Shakarantaha, strilingaha, drishya shabdaha. So therefore, eka nirdrishya also we can take. If since it is strilingam, eka strilingam, nirdrishya strilingam, we can take. This is another reading. Some two readings are there. So drik ekam, this means suppose eka eka nirdrishyam syat chet. Syat chet means one Atma is nirdrishyam means there is no drishyam at all. That is a sentence. If it is an object to be seen. That is the second half of the first line. It is an object of to be seen. How can it be the seer? That is over. Either next second line translation what they have given. So you look into the translation also. Here it will be clear. Either there should be only the seer with nothing to be seen. There is only seer with nothing to be seen. That is the idea presented here. Nirdrishyam means nothing to be seen. Drig ekam, eka drik, only one seer will be there. There is no drishyam. There is no drishyam, because you brought the mind also into drashta status. Suppose the mind also you brought into drashta status. Drishyam is knower, suppose, because of you have brought that into atma status. So nirdrishyam, because eka drashta, eka drik, then there is no drishyam. Or another problem is what? Jagadva syat asakshikam. That is also another problem. Va means or. Or what is another problem? The seer is not there to be seen. Sorry. The seer cannot see anything because seen is not there. Seen means there is nothing to be seen when that drishyam becomes the drashta. Or what will happen? The world should be seerless. Asakshika means seerless. Jagat becomes seerless when the seer becomes the seen. Seer atma becomes the seen. It becomes the world, into part of the world, because whole world is drishyam. So atma also in the list of this seen world list. What will happen? There is no sakshi to see the world. There is no seer. Asakshika means seerless world. Seerless world, how can you even imagine? Somebody is there to see the world. If that world is to be seen, it is observed, it is to be observed, experienced, there must be an experiencer. For example, I will give you how Atma is self-illuminator. In this sloka, it is hidden. Atma is ever the illuminator, never illumined. Like sun, Surya. Like sun god is illuminator of all objects. All objects are illumined by the sun. Sun is not illumined by any objects in the world. So sun is, from the worldly standpoint, if we see, sun is the permanent illuminator. Objects are temporary illuminated objects. They are all illumined temporarily. For example, you take your own body. The sun is illumining the body in the daytime, temporarily. In the night, he is not illumining the body. But the sun is ever illuminator only, never be illumined. We show that arati, to the sun also. Sometimes Pongal time, they show that arati to the sun. Because of whom you are seeing the arati in your hand and you are showing the arati. That is why to Bhagavan also, when they show the arati, that time, that priest stand near side and he shows the arati, lot of jyotis he put, and all bhaktas has to see that Lord. It is an upachara, one of the upachara, shodashopachara, one of the upachara showing the arati. Is it really upachara or apachara? Shankaracharya says it is not upachara, it is apachara. You are showing the light to that Bhagavan. Bhagavan is our illuminator, but we do that as a ritualistic portion. That arati we are showing. Really speaking, that is why at that time you see arati is showing to see that Garbhagriha, the Moola Virat. But what bhaktas do in the temple, what all of us do normally when they are showing that, we close our eyes. That's what we do. We all close our eyes and what unknowingly we are seeing inside that Atma Jyoti inside only. That Jyoti, you are looking at that idol, really seeing without your knowledge. Who said to you to close your eyes? Close your eyes when they are showing Arati. Automatically, without your knowledge, just like that, you close your eyes like this. Right? Showing the Arati is to see, not to close your eyes. But what you are doing? You close your eyes. That means, Bhagavan, please excuse me, I am doing an apachara, showing a light to you. You are the illuminator of the entire whole world, body, mind complex. But because of my ignorance as a bhakta, I am showing arati to you now. To asking Bhagavan, excuse me, like that. These are all our way of presentation, how we do. Atma is self-evident. Sun, just as the sun is the ever illuminator of all objects borrow illumination from the permanent illuminator. All objects borrow illumination. They are illumined by the sun. So sun is permanent illuminator, body is a temporary illuminator. It is known, body is evident because of light. Suppose sarvam andhakara, you cannot see your body also even. In the daytime Surya light, night time Surya bulb. Okay, or bulb. You can see your body in darkness? You cannot see with your eyes. So body is illumined by that Surya Bhagavan. Similarly, Sakshi Chaitanyam is also like a sun, ever illuminator of the Ahankara. Ahankara is illumined. Ahankara is illumined. Don't bring Ahankara to illuminated status and Atma to illumined. Don't bring like that. That is the idea hidden here. Atma is ever illuminator, never the illumined. If it becomes Drishyam, it has to be illumined by someone. Correct? The very, very subtle point here. If Atma become Drishyam, the scene, every Drishyam Vastu has got borrowed illumination. It is known by that Atma Chaitanyam. Suppose you bring that Atma towards Drishyam status. Atma also Drishyam, it has to borrow illumination to be illumined by someone else. Atma has to borrow illumination because it is in Drishyam status, suppose, as Purvapakshi says. Then Atma has to borrow illumination. From whom it can borrow? Can it borrow from the mind? Mind itself is illumined by Atma. How it can illumine the Atma? It cannot illumine. Therefore, Atma, Sakshi Chaitanyam is ever illuminator, never illumined. If you say illumined, if you bring to Drishyam, it is an insult to Atma. You are making Atma to depend upon someone else, as someone is not there who is self-luminous other than Atma Chaitanyam. I, the consciousness, am the ever the illuminator, never the illumined. Drishyatvam status means it goes to illumined status. Illumined is means borrowed illumination. Borrowed illumination means someone must be, lend the illumination. If Atma comes and sit in Drishyam status, there will be no one to illumine this Drishyam. All problems will come one by one, one by one. So, my dear, don't take like that. That is why, if everything is subject, all transactions will end. If everything becomes subject, Drishyam, Ahankara also you bring into Atma status, then there will be no any interaction. Objects won't be there. Or if everything is an object, also all transactions won't happen. Transactions will end. If everything becomes subject also, transactions will end. If everything becomes object also, transactions will end. Therefore what? The world become the observerless. Asakshikam. The world becomes observerless. Na vidyate sakshi tat asakshikam nanj bahurihi. So therefore what? Similarly, Ahankara has got borrowed illumination. Atma has got self-illumination. That is the establishment here. Now, next verse I will read. Introduction. Uktayuktim dhridi-kartum agamodaharana upanyasaha. Uktamuktim, that logic whatever we have given until now. Uktam, already said. Yuktim, reasoning. Now that reasoning whatever we have given already. Dhridi-kartum, to reinforce. Agama, Shruti, Upanyasaha means Shruti statement is going to be presented in 42nd and Smriti in 43. What is that Shruti statement? Artamanyadrishe sarvam neti neti ti chasakrit vadanti nirgunam brahma katham shrutirupekshate. So that Yoga Padyam explained. Now Acharya coming to Shruti Vayyatham should not happen. How Shruti Rupekshate? How can you ignore the Shruti statements? You cannot do that way. What are those Shruti statements? First line, Artam Anyat Drishehe Sarvam. It is from Artam word from Kahola Brahmanam, Brihadaranyaka 3rd chapter, 5th Brahmanam, 1st mantra, 351. An atonyadhartam. Artam means mithya, inferior, insignificant. Drishehe anyat sarvam. Other than Atma Chaitanyam, Sakshi, I the Atma Chaitanyam, other than me, whatever I experience, everything is Artam, insignificant, mithya. This is one statement. Second statement is Neti Neti iti cha asakrit. Asakrit means repeatedly, again and again. Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka again, Neti Neti, not this, not this, not this. That word is used. That is also from Brihadaranyaka, Murta Brahmana 236. It comes in many places. This Neti Neti comes in 4 places. Just to note the number, I will tell you. 236, one place it comes, Neti Neti. Then 3926. And third time 424, 4th chapter, 2nd Brahmanam, 424 in 4th chapter, 2nd Brahmanam, 4th mantra. Then 4, 5, 15. 4, 5, 15. You can refer. All these places, neti neti comes. So, asakrit, again and again. So, what Upanishad says there, Nirgunam Brahma Vadanti. So, all these statements are talking about Nirgunam Brahma Chaitanyam. That Chaitanyam, how can you ignore this much powerful Upanishadic statements? Therefore, come to the next class. I will tell you and clarify you more. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.